Story 1. Hotel night, shift animated, the new job. John, a college student, takes up a night shift at the old Crescent Hotel. It's his first night, and he's eager to impress. The hotel is eerily quiet, with only the hum of the fluorescent lights in the lobby keeping him company. The manager, Mr. Grayson, gives John a quick tour and warns him to stay out of room 404. John laughs it off, but there's something unsettling about the way Mr. Grayson says it. Strange sounds. As the night deepens, John starts hearing strange noises. Soft whispers, creaking floors, and distant footsteps echoing through the empty halls. At first, he dismisses them as his imagination, but they grow louder, more distinct. He checks the security cameras but sees nothing unusual. The sounds seem to be coming from room 404. Curiosity gets the better of him, and he decides to investigate. Room 404. John approaches room 404, his heart pounding in his chest. The door is slightly ajar, which is strange because he's sure it was closed earlier. He hesitates but pushes the door open. The room is dark, with a single flickering light bulb hanging from the ceiling. The air is cold, and the smell of dampness fills his nostrils. Suddenly, the door slams shut behind him and the light goes out, plunging him into darkness. The ghostly figure. John fumbles for his phone to use its flashlight. The beam of light cuts through the darkness, revealing an empty room. But as he turns, he catches a glimpse of a shadowy figure in the corner. It's a woman, her face pale and eyes hollow. She's dressed in old-fashioned clothes, soaked as if she just emerged from water. John freezes in terror as she slowly approaches him, her hand reaching out. The warning. The ghostly figure stops just inches from John, her cold hand brushing against his cheek. "Leave this place," she whispers, her voice echoing in the room. John stumbles backward, terrified. The lights suddenly flicker back on, and the woman vanishes. John runs out of room 404, his heart racing. He's determined to leave the hotel, but when he reaches the lobby, Mr. Grayson is waiting for him. The revelation. Mr. Grayson's expression is grim. "I warned you about room 404, he says. John demands to know what's going on. Mr. Grayson sighs and reveals that the hotel has a dark history. Years ago, a woman drowned in the hotel pool under mysterious circumstances. Her spirit has been haunting room 404 ever since, seeking revenge on anyone who enters. John is horrified and wants to leave, but Mr. Grayson tells him it's too late. The haunting. That night, John is plagued by nightmares of the ghostly woman. Every time he closes his eyes, he sees her face, hears her voice. The next night at work, the haunting intensifies. The lights flicker, objects move on their own, and the temperature drops to freezing. John knows the spirit is angry, but he doesn't know how to stop her. He feels trapped with no way out. The search for answers. Desperate, John starts researching the hotel's history. He discovers that the woman's death was not an accident. She was murdered by her lover, who was never caught. Her spirit is restless because she never got justice. John realizes that the only way to appease her is to uncover the truth and expose the murderer. But how can he do that when the crime happened decades ago? Confronting the past. John confronts Mr. Grayson, demanding to know more. Mr. Grayson reluctantly admits that the hotel has been hiding the truth for years to avoid bad publicity. He shows John an old photograph of the staff from that time, and John recognizes one of the faces. It's the ghostly woman. Mr. Grayson gives John an old key, telling him it's the only way to unlock the past and set the spirit free. The final showdown. Armed with the key, John returns to room 404. The room is cold and dark as before, but John is determined to end this. He finds an old, hidden drawer containing a diary, the woman's diary. It reveals the name of her murderer, who was none other than the hotel's former owner. As John reads aloud the final entry, the ghostly woman appears, her expression softening. "Thank you," she whispers before fading away. The haunting is over, but John knows he'll never forget his nights at the Crescent Hotel.